What is gwan, peeps? What is gwan? It's Valerie Natural Oracles. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are. Welcome or welcome back. What's going on, people? If you are here, you're here for the daily spiritual tea. And today I'm going to be using these cards. They're oldies but goodies. And do you know what? They've been highly underrated. Love the messages that come out of these cards. And look what's at the bottom. Forgiveness. Oh, is there something you need to forgive? I've been having that actual message. Or does somebody need to be forgiven for something? And then we've got happiness and stand still. Openness, new beginnings. Oh my goodness, what is going down? See, that's a message in itself. But let's find out what messages Spirit has for us today. So Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, thank you for your guidance, protection, assistance. Please give me the message for the collective. What messages do you have for the collective today? Please give us a message. What do you want us to know today, Spirit? Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, guides, beloveds, ancestors. Give us the message. Thank you. Please give us the message. And I don't take dropouts, but it's interesting to look at them. Have you been in solitude? Sometimes it's interesting to look at these messages, but I don't take them because I work completely different from a lot of tarot readers. I don't wait for the message to drop out. I pick them out because my spirit guides a gangster. And they tell me the message we need to hear. So let's see what comes out today. So what have we got? Oh, transformation. Are you getting to that do you know, are you getting, this is almost like, see, look, transformation, freedom, delight, taking risks, and love, focus, purification. Oh, wow. Thank you, Spirit. Are you getting to that point in your life where, I know it says transformation, but is it a lot to do with not taking nonsense anymore, releasing things, and you're transforming your life because of it? Your eye is now open and you see certain things. I mean, it could mean something completely different, but when I look at this, I see the actual butterfly coming from a cocoon. It's almost like you've been in hiding, or you've been in solitude. You've been in your hermit mode. You've been doing all these things. You've just been hidden away, but suddenly you're going to burst out into the open. It's like something has transformed within you that you're saying, no more. It's time to be out there. It's time to shine my light. It's time to transform whatever is going on in my life. It's time to stop standing still and to start making moves, whether it's money moves, love moves, environment moves, whatever moves. Things are transforming in your life. Is it because we've got out of retrograde now? I know we're in Saturn, but people shouldn't fear Saturn unless you're karmic, or you've got karmic situations, or you're going through karmic cycles. You know, we've gotten to this point in our lives, but, you know, if you've been with me long enough, you recognize and know, because I preach on sometimes about this, is actually standing back and looking at the whole picture. People don't look at the whole picture of situations. You know, it's like, you have to stand back and look at the whole situation. For example, the things that you get trapped in cycles with are things that have been happening after generations. And if you was to really sit back and look at situations, first at your own karmic cycles, because no matter what, you're not going to go through good karma all the time. Everybody has their own karmic cycles. And, you know, for me, I'm going to tell you my one was, I'd get the same people, but with different faces. And I'd go through this cycle with these people. But what you notice is, if your eyes have been opened, you go through these cycles a lot quicker, and you realize what your true value is and what your true worth is. And they see it, but they use it to their advantage. They take advantage of you. But when your eyes are opened and you stand back and look at the whole situation, you will see it. I mean, some of them are like, yeah, they are completely different from each other, but they have the same traits. And you go through these cycles, and some can be more damaging than others. And especially if you're a very empathic person, or you feel everything, it's like you suddenly learn. Some days, one day you'll snap out of it, you'll transform, and you'll snap out of it, and you'll say to yourself, I've been through this cycle before. I recognize this trait. I recognize what these people are doing. I'm getting out of it. I don't want nothing to do with it. And when I say that, it's things like you with somebody, and first of all, it's like a love bombing thing. They're with you, they can't do enough for you, this, that, and the other, and then they suddenly switch on you. Okay, they want you to be financially dependent on them. They want you to be emotionally dependent on you. They want you to they cut off your family because you see what that one did. You see, don't talk to that one anymore because it's not good. And they slowly cut you off so you are solely dependent on them. And then they can take the piss with you. They can withdraw privileges and add privileges when they feel like it. They can put you in this mindset that you are not worthy and you're only worthy of them. And it's them that has to, they're just mirroring back to you what is really them. And I could go on about this situation. I could go on about this, but you're just transforming. So I'm going to read this quickly because this is a deep one, people. Transformation. I could talk about this all day because this is like, you see the cycles though. You see what's going down, collective. You see what's going down. If you've been on this journey with me, because I've been at this, I've been on YouTube for over a year now. And, sometimes I say things that people don't want to hear and they suddenly, like, for example, I will have one of my live sessions and I say something that somebody don't want to immediately want to cut me off and whatever. But, sometimes the truth hurts and sometimes people don't want to hear these things. Like, for example, I'll give you a good example. I remember mentioning that twin flames are a phenomenon. And the minute I said that and said, well, it's 5% of the whole world is actually going to be with their twin flame, and sometimes they're just there to teach you lessons, and you meet them in the next lifetime. Some people don't like that kind of talk because they want to know that twin flames is like they're automatically going to be with their twin flame if they find that person, or they're going to automatically find that soul connection. But some people are just there to teach you lessons. And we are here as in having this human experience. Okay, we're here on earth having this human experience. And we are here to trial and be tested on certain things to see if we've learnt the lessons from previous lifetimes. And people don't seem to understand these things sometimes. And I'm coming not only from a spiritual sense, but as a Buddhist, it reaffirms it twice over that we're here to have a human experience, and it's the soul that matters and not what's on the outside most of the time. And I say most of the time because we are very physical people. We're very into the physical and not into the mental or the actual spiritual or the emotional. And this is the reality of it. But if we was to go within, it would open up a whole new world for you. And I'm rambling now, but this is what I'm saying to you. I could talk about this card all day long. So I'm going to read it now. And it says here, and I'm going to hold it up for you. It says here, the blue butterfly. It's no accident that the butterfly represents transformation, rebirth, and resurrection. Remarkably, when the caterpillar becomes a chrysalis, it doesn't just instantly become a butterfly, it actually dissolves into a kind of soup. In other words, it liquefies itself, and out of that emerges something completely different. It is a true transformation. I have to put this down so I have to turn the page. It is, in some cultures, blue butterflies are considered very good luck and even wish granters. In Native American tribes, it is believed that a wish whispered to a butterfly will be granted when it flies to the heavens. The Native American shore dance, which celebrates renewal, is derived from the butterfly dance. Also, the color blue represents a calmness, peace, and spiritual attunement. Yes, I'm burning my blue candles today. And that was purely coincidence. But anyway, I'll carry on. Also, the color blue represents a calmness, peace, and spiritual attunement. And the blue butterfly is thought to carry all these meanings. So the sacred landscape, which these cards are called, wants you to know this is a time for change, reinvention, or rebirth in a new way of being. If you've been plodding along, this card suggests that you take measures to shift everything. Don't resist change. The blue color suggests a spiritual renewal or initiation. Transformation doesn't mean taking something old and remodeling it or rearranging a few things. It means becoming something completely different. I know I have in the last year. Or doing something completely different. Changes is often uncomfortable, but it is usually for the highest good. This is a very lucky card, and drawing this card can mean that a wish may be about to come true. Do you know what I heard this morning? Do I talk about this? I don't know. But this government, because Boris, I don't know if my American counterparts, I'm going to put this down on this pedestal for a minute so you can see it. I don't know with my American counterparts, and they've heard all the antics with Boris at the moment, but I'm telling you, Boris is trying to do everything and anything to get himself out of a hole. And the latest one is, which I'm finding very incredulous, is like, true, in certain areas of the country, you know, the rent, the mortgage is actually lower than the rent, which is ridiculous to me. Okay, that's the first thing. But people who are trying to get off the rent and go into the mortgage situation is having a hard time, even though the mortgage is cheaper than the rent. Okay. So what Boris wants to introduce is that people on universal credit who are working but usually get means-tested benefits, basically. If for my American counterparts, it's means-tested benefit. So whoever's on means-tested benefit, and from what I understand, you have to be still working, but you'd be like on a low-paid situation, but you will still get means-tested benefit, can now apply to actually get mortgages and use this mean-tested benefit as part of their income, which should be in the first place, which is, I make that quite right. But at the same time, what is that kind of going to cause? Do you know what I mean? Now, saying that, I know of people who could actually do that and still be on benefits and still actually go out and buy their own property because they are paying more. But, 9 times out of 10, the mean-tested benefit is paying the rent. My question to that is like, will that transform people's lives? That's just one example. Is that going to transform people's lives? Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know in America, but in this country, you can still have up to £16,000 in savings and still get means-tested benefits. I don't know how much you get, but once you're on that ladder, it means you get certain privileges, like you get free dental care, you get free prescriptions, you get free... I mean, in this country, it's going to be way different from the USA, for example, anyway. Even if you had to pay for your medication, you would only pay a set amount. I think the last time I paid for it, it was like £8 something. I don't know if that's changed. It probably has. But to me, that is still cheap compared to other countries. Like, to buy a bottle of medication that could cost £5,000. I'm exaggerating. Let's say, some medications in some countries, what we get here, for example, if you was in America, you'd be paying £300 for a bottle of medication. Here, if you had to pay for it, you're paying no more than a set amount, which is no more than £10 per medication. So could you imagine? Americans could literally go broke for medication. But I'm digressing now. But the point I'm trying to make is that, could that transform your life? It's just one big example. I was only today, my son phoned me up and said, Mum, listen to this. Do you think this is true? And Boris is actually doing it Boris is actually making the announcement today. So if you're into politics, if you're into that, my son phoned me up and said, Mum, can you believe this? Listen to this. You could be on universal credit, or you could be on, you could literally work 5 hours and be given universal credit and still be able to actually go and get a mortgage. And this is what he's trying to put into place. But isn't it going to cause more controversy? Because if we could get right to buy now on council housing and on government housing, for my USA counterparts, isn't that going to lessen the housing stock again? This is why we have a crisis now. Anyway, I could go into politics. I could go deep. But my thing is, first and foremost, get out of the matrix. Transform your life. And it's an easy process. Well, it's not an easy process, but it has, it's a step process what you should be going through to get out of the matrix. And I talk about this all the time. But let's get some cards out and figure out why this transformation card is here. Because I could ramble forever, as you know. Holy Spirit, holy angels, guides, beloveds, ancestors, please give us the message. Why is this transformation card here? What is it you're trying to tell us, Spirit? Please tell me about this card. Why is this card here? So let's find out. So, yeah, Five of Cups. Do you feel like you've had missed opportunities in the past, or you didn't see this is what I'm getting from this. You didn't see certain cycles in the past, but you're seeing them now, and you think you could kick yourself, and you think, why the hell did I go through that when it was needless? I could have got out of that cycle a long time ago. It's like missed opportunities, regret. Don't have those regrets. Don't do it to yourself. Don't have those regrets. Do you know, it's time to come out of that. This is for some people. It's time to come out of that hermit mode and start shining your light. Feel the transformation, because you probably was in that cocoon all that time and you've turned into a different person. You've taught yourself certain things. You've actually seen certain things. Your eyes have been open to certain things, and you come out of this cycle. Do you know, is it because of the regrets that will happen that you would actually put yourself into hermit mode? It's time to come out and shine your light, I'm telling you. Because look, the Wheel of Fortune is here. This card in itself is about good change. This card itself is about good job. You can't make this up. This card itself is about good change. It's about fortune, fate, luck is on your side. This is why this card, the transformation, is here. Is there a message for somebody that somebody needs to hear this right now? Because this is nothing but, when you see this card here, the Wheel of Fortune, this is like moving forward in a good way. Come out of that hermit mode. Stop with all that. Start shining your light, because things is going down. Because you have creative ideas. You have creation. You know, this is the beginning of, and she does actually look pregnant there. But pregnancy means the beginning sometimes. You could actually be pregnant and your life is changing. Do you know, it could mean a lot of things. But when I see this Empress card in this situation, in a spiritual message, this is about creativity. This is about the beginnings of new things. This is why the Wheel of Fortune is here. For these two cards to come out together, things are changing. Big things are gwan. Big things are gwan for your honor. This is about creativity. Do you know, we'll get into other news in a minute, but this is like, it's so deep. Let me see if you can see these cards. Can you see these cards, people? Let me bring them over, because this is ridiculous. You can't make this up. Because whatever it is, this transformation will lead to your freedom. Well-being, create happiness, but you've got to take the risk and come out of your comfort zone. Is it to do with love? Is it that you need to focus? Because you need to purify your energy of all the nonsense and be flexible. And this is where this comes in. Anyway, I'm going to stop it. Let's get one more card out and really talk about this spiritual message. Look, the Sun. Happiness again. You could help yourself by doing this. Transformation is deep. Look. Do you see what I mean? Not only have you got, when I was talking about new beginnings, this is new stable beginnings. This is about new investments. Again, this card, in a spiritual sense, it's about new beginnings, it's new jobs, it's new investments, it's new everything. It's change in a good way. Again, let me look at this message for real, because this is deep. People. I'm trying to get it so you can see all the cards. Okay, let's see. Yes. This is you in the past. This is you. This is you in the past thinking, I've missed opportunities. I've been upset. I've been let down. I've been used. I've been all sorts. People have showed you things in the past. People have showed you who they really are. And I say it and I say it again. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Situations that you thought was a benefit to you, like a job that you've been doing, and they've been taking nothing but advantage of you. They're not paying you your worth. They're not doing all of that. And it stressed you out. This is what this is about. You've just missed opportunities because you've stayed in situations too long. You've taken nonsense for too long. You didn't see your worth. But I'm telling you, going into this is a good thing sometimes. It's a good thing to actually walk in silence. Walk in silence, collective. Walk in silence. Sometimes it's a good thing to walk in silence. I'm telling you. Because, you can work on yourself. You can work on your spiritual self, your physical self, whatever you want to work on. Because I'm getting from this card that you've been let down in so many different ways. Take it what your situation is. If it's a job, if it's a situation, if it's a person's let you down. Because the Wheel of Fortune is smack bang in the middle, which is the current situation. It's the current situations. Turn your life around. See that transformation. See that change. Because you are the big boss bitch. The boss bitch, the boss man. You are nothing but creativity. You are nothing. And this is all about working on your purpose as well. I don't know if you realize this, but this card can mean a lot of things. But in this context, this is about working on your creativity. This is about working on your purpose. This is about working on what you should be working on. And I'll say it and I'll say it again. The way the world is going, you need to be have a lot of strings in your bow. Have a lot of strings in your bow to actually survive what is going down. Because jobs, the reason why I don't do what I used to do IT, and the reason I don't do it anymore, because it doesn't pay what it used to pay, because everything is done on a script now. Everything you could, if you get an IT job now, it's not called an IT job. It could be a customer service advisor, but they put that in there because they're not paying you what they should do. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I've come out of that field and I've decided that I want to do what I want to do as opposed to doing something to make money. And yes, initially it will pay less. But if you try and get yourself out the matrix, it doesn't matter if you're being paid less. Because in real terms, if you reduce your bills, if you pay off all your debts, if you have your cushion, if you do all these investments and have what I call passive incomes, it doesn't matter that you're being paid less for what you do, because it will still, in real terms, you're still getting the same as what you'd have done if you was doing this 9-to-5 corporate job. Because sometimes, and I'm going to say this, sometimes, working all the hours God send is, like they say, time is money. But I'm telling you, working all the hours God sends doesn't always pay how it should. And sometimes you don't have to exert all that effort to make the money. Our parents used to have the mindset, especially if they're from the West Indies or even in the 50s and 60s, you were told, work hard and you will get what you need. Work hard. But you look at your parents at this day and age. Yes, some of them have done well for themselves, but if it's the average Joe Blogs or whatever, okay, some of them are still struggling in their pension years, or they've worked so hard. I'll tell you what, I used to work for a council. Okay, it's a government agency. I've worked for a couple of councils actually, and those jobs used to be for life. Those jobs used to be for life, but not anymore. But what used to happen was they had people that were working in these places for 30, 40 years, and I could have had that job for life, for real. But that's another story. I'll have to sit down and tell some story times. But they would retire at 60, go home, sit down, have no other plan, and they will sit down there and just die. Do you know? They work so hard. And the second thing would be, even though they walked all their years, because of the pay they were getting, their pay and their pension was equal to what they earned. Okay, so sometimes they would do all those. They would work for one company for 40, 50 years and still not make enough for a pension to live on. So they'd still live in poverty after they finished that job. So they might as well have just stayed on the job. And again, these things bring on illnesses, brings on depression, brings on all sorts of stuff. And then they die. And I just wanted to be one of those people, and I'm not at pension age yet. I'm of an elder status. I just didn't want to go down that route. I'd rather die climbing a mountain, seeing my favourite spot or sitting in my favourite place, and to know that I did and have no regrets, than to be doing a 9-to-5, which is taking my time, because we don't have to work hard like that. We don't have to, if you're smart about it. So this is what I'm saying to you, transformation. Maybe you've got that job and you just think, I'm tired of this. And there's this thing about, lately, and I've mentioned it before, and I think it's a very American thing though. It's like leaving your job without leaving. So you just do the absolute basic until your actual outside money is giving you more than your inside, than your job money. And then you can just leave. And I've forgotten what they called it, quitting without quitting. It's like quitting your job without quitting. You do the bare minimum to get by. until whatever you're doing, your creativity, whatever you're doing outside of that, starting your businesses or whatever, pays more than that job. But anyway, I'm going to stop it. Stop rambling. I can keep going. I'm sorry, people. I'm 24 minutes in already. Let's see. In other news, though, I'm seeing somebody who's at a loss, who's regret, who at the time. Here's what we've got here. Somebody is now in regret. This story, okay, this is changing it into maybe a romantic sense or just something that is happening in the background. What I'm getting here is somebody is in regret. Somebody is at a loss. They see you as this loss now. They didn't see it before because they thought they had choices, and this is what I'm getting here. And so they could have possibly seen you go into hermit mode. You've cut them off, delete them, karate drop them. You stood back and saw the situation, shined the light on it, and you've come out of those cycles. And you've transformed and moved on and moved forward. You are now this creative somebody who has started again, maybe. And you're finding your sunlight. You're finding your happiness. You've shined a light on this person. Whoever this person was to you, look, you shined a light on this person. This is why you went into hermit mode. You shined a light on this person and you realized things were illuminated to you. In hindsight, things were illuminated to you. And now, you see this person who's in regret. It's like, is the chaser become the runner? Is the runner become the chaser? Is that what it is? You're perfectly happy doing what you're doing and keeping away from this person. And now somebody's in regret. Let's find out what else is going on. Yeah, you're blind and deaf to that situation because you went into hermit mode. This is in the past now. You went into hermit mode. You stood back from a situation. You analysed the situation. You said, You said, We're blind and deaf to that situation. Or is it that the person that you was dealing with was actually... what's your judgment clouded about this person? Because I'm getting that some of you, it's like somebody showed you one face, but like it's almost like they changed it to somebody else when they started talking to other people, and they just didn't see your worth, or they didn't see your worth. So you just went into hermit mode. You said, "Nata bungo wungo," and now big things is going for you. Whether you started that new business, whether you started that new creativity, whether you've gone back to college, maybe you've just started a new job that fits your situation perfectly. You're that entrepreneur now. You're the one that's making the penticales, and now this person wants to come forward to you. This person wants to come forward to you. It could even be that this person has changed their mindset and now good things are going on for them. And they see you as this empress. They see you as this empress, but they're still in their logic. When you see the King of Swords, they're still in their logic. Okay? But what it is, they want to come forward to you now. They want to come forward to this empress, the boss bitch, the boss man. They want to come forward to you in this situation. But is this the wiseness? Because what we've got here is... although you're starting afresh, here's what we got here. You're starting afresh. We've got the Four of Swords. You're starting afresh and putting everything you can down to rest. Everything is putting down to rest because you're now living what you want. You're living your dream. You want to live this dream. So you have to put down or release certain things or release certain people's situations, jobs, whatever it is. Okay? But I'm telling you, somebody is really in regret now because they didn't see who you was. And regardless of what the circumstances was, why you see this person in a different light, boy, karma is kicking in. Because for once, you stepped out, and this is what I was talking about, transformation. You stepped out of certain cycles. You've stepped out, you've recognized the cycles and stepped out of it. And this person has their own cross to bear. I'm telling you, this person has their own cross to bear. And although things are changing for you, is this person changed? Because this is somebody who sits in their head and not their heart. I say this time and time again about the King of Swords. The King of Swords, yes, they're a king. Yes, they're somebody that you could sit down and have serious conversations with. They're very intellectual sometimes. They're very up in their head and not in their heart. They think very logically, okay? Is it that this person's not changed? Is that what it is, or is it they're just strategizing how to move forward to you? Because here's the Chariot. Are they just strategizing how they can move forward to you because they recognize who you are, the boss bitch, the boss man? You're the boss bitch, the empress. You're busy creating. You're not paying no mind to this person. You're blind and deaf to that situation there. You're just blind and deaf to it, and you're just saying, mm-mm, not a bungo wungo. Do you know what, people? I'm going to leave that there because you're just, you're a wish fulfillment for this person, and they are planning. Thank you for the confirmation, spirit. But this person that could be planning to come forward to you. But again, here we go with the clarity and truth. And when you get the Justice card, it's funny, the Justice card has come out reverse when I'm talking about karma. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. It's funny that's come out. Wow. And it's in reverse as well, will make it even worse. This person is going through karma because they need to speak some truths and some clarity. Did they lie to you about certain things? Did they cheat on you? Did they do things behind your back? And now this person needs to come with clarity and truth, and that's their cross to bear. That's their until they do this, because they want to move forward to you because they're in regret. They want to move forward to you because of the regret. But until they do this, I want to go on, please, what I go on. Anyway, I'm going to stop it now. You take care till next time, because I've gone way in deep with that. I've gone way in deep today. But this transformation card sparked something in me. This has sparked something in me because this, we've all come out of retrograde and there's a lot going on at the moment. Especially as, we're in the UK, summer is here. We're all coming out of our little cocoons. We're all rising up. We're all, and if you're on this new timeline, because I've been speaking about this timeline, we're all on a new timeline. Okay. This is the season of the masculine, but at the same time, okay, the divine feminines are not watching the divine masculines. They're into getting their own, being independent. And I've been preaching about this as well. I've done some daily spiritual teas where that's come out with the independence and having to have your own, and they have to match you. Do you know what I mean? You know your worth now. You know what's worthy of you, and you don't have to put up any nonsense. You don't have to. All you're asking for is for you to be able to be in your feminine energy, and this is all that this is about. A lot of us have had to be in our masculine energies because we haven't had people to rely on. We haven't had the masculine energy to rely on. Do you know what I mean? And so we've had to be the masculines in our own lives. But, if you can find somebody that allows you to be in your feminine energy, to have the 3 Ps, and I spoke about the 3 Ps yesterday, protect, preserve, and provide. A man is supposed to be, or a masculine energy is supposed to be in your life to protect you. So you feel safe enough to trust that person. Protect, provide, preserve. When I say preserve, it's all about the trust. Protecting is, obviously protect you from, life's ups and downs. They should be able to do that for you, that you get to the point where you could trust these people enough. And this is what this transformation is about. But if you're not transforming and you're still letting certain liberties, you need to wake up, smell the coffee, and stand back and look at the whole picture. Don't just look at, maybe it's a Virgo thing. I used to be quite logical, but I've seen too much spiritual stuff to understand, emotional, physical, and spiritual stuff to understand that it goes deeper than the physical. Okay, it means that this person can't be who they can be. You can't spiritually grow with these people. And when I say spiritually, I don't mean literally you're sitting there meditating all day. I mean that you can move forward and that you can actually resolve issues and that you can work together and that you can make money together. There's no point. If it's just stagnant and they want you to do all the work, run for the hills. Run for the hills. Anyway, this is why transformation is here, because you need to do this. Anyway, I'm going. Take care till next time. And if this, I should say, first of all, I've been looking at the analytics And half of the people that watch these videos is not subscribing. Why not? I don't understand. You're watching them day after day, but you're not subscribing. Please hit the alert bell and subscribe so you know when I'm going to do another video. And the second thing is, if these messages resonate with you, please show your appreciation. There is a link in the description that you can go. One of the links is PayPal, obviously. The second one is buy a coffee, where you can actually go ahead, and it's a little bit by Patreon. And if not, if you want to be a continued supporter, please come to my Patreon. But, you know, there's a link there that says buy me a coffee, where you could literally just do a quick donation. Even if it's a penny, you're still donating to the channel. So anyway, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to love and leave you. And if you got this far, thank you so much. Give me a green heart, because I'd love to know who got this far, at least. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.